What's up out there, friends and family? It's your boy, the motivational teacher to the masses, here again with another edition of Motivational Monday. I already see people, I'm a little late popping on here. I already see people popping on here that was waiting. Let the hungry say so. Daily YT, I appreciate you hopping on early. If you're hopping on, please definitely say hi, say what's up. If you would, give me about 30 seconds as I share this out to all my social media platforms. But I want to thank you all for joining us for another edition of Motivational Monday. Hope everybody's week is off to an explosive week where you're getting things done. You're being ultra productive, because this first week of the new year. Hey, Vaniqua. Hey, Rajetta. Thank y'all for joining us. I was a little late. Christian had a birthday party, and so I was a little late getting back, but nonetheless, I made it before they shut off the Facebook page. So let me share this out very quickly to my outlets. And if you all would too, please share this. Tag people in these conversations. You never can tell. You can be the conduit between where people are and where they want to be by sharing this information. I've gotten so many positive reports about 2020 and how people have improved their lot in life based on these conversations that we are having. And when I say we, you all elevate this conversation as well as you type comments in, as you begin to share this out with people. You all elevate this conversation. So please, in 2021, let's keep this conversation going because you all are the most important people to this Motivational Monday. And I do believe that we are going to do exploits. And when I say we, it's all of us in 2021. 2020 was good, had some setbacks, but 2021, hey, serve notice. We coming for everything that belonged to us. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's that. We're 2 minutes in. Hey, Laura, thank you for joining. Rajetta, thank you for joining. Angelique, thank you for joining. If you would, again, type people in, invite people. Tonight, I told you, 2020, we dealt a lot with your deity, getting you to believe. What's up, Yusuf? Thank you for joining from Egypt, man. It's been a while since I've seen you on here. Thank you, man. It means so much that you decided to drop in and spend some time with us tonight. And tonight is going to be a really, really good one. I had several. Hey, Laura, thank you for joining us tonight. I had a couple of different ideas that I wanted to go with, but tonight we chose to, I had my notes from my last Motivational Monday. I put them somewhere. And I talked about 5 questions that you have to ask yourself going into 2021. 5 questions you have to ask yourself going into 2021. If you have not listened to my last Motivational Monday, after this one, please go back because now I'm going to build on that conversation. 2021, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be a continuous conversation. What's up, Golden Boy? Thank you for joining us. Hey, Lord, thank you for putting people in the box. 2021 is going to be a year where we continuously build on one conversation. What's up, Rod? So if you're looking for consistency and you're looking for something that's going to build on it week to week, how can I be better this week than I was last week? You got to show up. You got to make it your business in life to write down Monday nights at 8:30. And you have my commitment that when I'm not coming on, I'll make sure that I put it out early enough in social media if something comes up, whatever, to make sure that we're going to be here. So you got my commitment. Now, thank you for committing back to me that you will make the commitment to make sure you put this in your calendar. Let's make it like a standing appointment because your presence makes a difference. Hey, Julian, thank you for joining us. Thank you for typing Cammy in there as well. Thank you, Laura. So let's begin this conversation. We ended 2021. Or I watch the news and don't get me wrong, I'm not being ultra sensitive. I'm not being insensitive. My whole family had COVID. We've had family members to die from COVID. We've had members of our family that lost their jobs. My company went through a huge layoff as well. So I'm not being insensitive when I make my comment. I want you all to know that life is filled with ups and downs. Life is filled with twists and turns. But the one constant is that we own our outcomes. We own our outcomes. Ladies and gentlemen, we are responsible for our own life. You got to take that. And I'm going to talk about that later on. There's no one else responsible for you but you. I'm about to break bread. God has gifted you with I'm gonna call it something so special that only you can realize it. God has gifted you with something so special that it was meant to make room for you on this earth to doing something special. God has given you something that's so good that he hid you for a season such as this. See, some of us, we're not getting the results that we want in our life. For some seasons, you'll be hidden. That's not what we're going to talk about tonight, but I'm going down this path. So some season you will be hidden. And for some of us, we've been hidden for a certain particular time, such as this. But this is our moment and this is our time. But we have to do what I'm going to talk about tonight. Own our outcomes. And trust me, I'm not being insensitive. I know there are a lot of variables that happen in life. I know that, sickness, or I know that things, loss of jobs, and I know, illnesses, and I know diagnoses. I know family members hurt you, and I know spouses do things that shouldn't be done in marriages. And I know there are a lot of variables that take place in our life, but I'm telling you that the one constant is that we have to own our outcomes. Yeah, we have to own our outcomes. Our outcomes, when you think about the word outcome, is a final product or end result, where the seat that I sit in today is a part of how I manage my process. I'm going to break bread right now. The seat that you sit in today are the outcomes of how you've managed your process and how you've managed situations and how you manage issues throughout your life. Ladies and gentlemen, I came to make you free today. Whom the Son set free is free indeed. I came to give you your freedom papers today, because if I'm responsible for the seat that I sit in today, I can be responsible for getting up out of this seat and getting into a new seat. I just broke bread for somebody. I came to give you authority back over your life, but you got to own your outcomes. You got to be willing to look in the mirror and admit that I've made some dumb decisions over the course of my life. And it could be based on what happened to me when I was younger. It could be based on what I did that was incorrect at one time. It could be based on my greed for fancy cars, a big house, and I'm in a lot of debt. I'm in a lot of revolving debt, which is not good. It could be a multitude of places of where in my life that I may be lacking, but I got to sit there and look in the mirror and say, man, I am my own problem, but I am my own solution also. There's nobody coming to save you with a cape. You gotta own your outcomes. Iron Man and all this. Hey, mom, Iron Man is not coming with his light in his chest to rescue you from your own life. The Holy Spirit is not coming down to rescue you from your own life. We gotta change this concept of I am not responsible for my lot in life. Check this out. I told you 2020, we talked about your deity, and everything that you are that God has made you is already on the inside of you. You got to believe. That's the faith part. Now, 2021, we're going to focus on the work part. That's why I am the motivational teacher to the masses, because I can sit here and have this conversation about your deity and then break it down, and we're going to have it today about your humanity. Outcomes, a conclusion reached through a process of logical thinking. Outcomes. I need for somebody out there to go in that text box and say, I am responsible for my life. And when I ask you to put things in that text box, that's not for my ego. It's for you to start adapting new thoughts going across your synapses so you can start having new thoughts. The challenge of logical thinking is what an outcome, a process, a conclusion reached through logical thinking. In order to change the conclusion, you have to change the thinking. I just broke bread. You can never change the outcome if the thinking remains consistently bad. And the challenge for most of us, while we've been in the same cycle for 30 years, is because we've not changed the outcome, because we have not changed the thinking. I am responsible for my life. Come on, Lisa. I'm responsible for my life. Come on, Angelique. I am responsible for my life. The moment I realize that I am responsible for my life is the moment I start changing in the areas where I need in order to get maximum manifestation. Come on, Julian. I'm responsible for my life. If y'all haven't subscribed to Julian, man, he's doing some wonderful things too. If you don't know Julian, go send him a friend request. He's doing some awesome things and being used in multiple ways, man. So I'm proud of you, bro. Thank you for hopping in here. Daily YT, I am responsible for my own life. I can no longer blame my mom or my dad at what happened 10 years ago. Right now, I gotta take responsibility. I gotta take this bull by the horns, and I gotta make a conscious, deliberate decision that I'm gonna ride this bull. I'm gonna take responsibility back for my life. I know the doctor said A, B, C, D. I know my counselor said A, B, C, D. I know my uncle told me that I wasn't going to be anything, but today I got to decide that I'm taking responsibility for my own life, meaning those words, I have to make them null and void of power over my life. Oh my God, I just broke bread. I just broke bread. I got to make those words of no respect of my life by me taking responsibility for my life. Your words, you know what? I consider myself a public figure. Everything that everybody says about me is not always positive. I know that shocks some of y'all, but it's people that as good as you are, there's some people that don't agree with something you said or something you do. I got to break bread. And you have to be in a position. If this is not, I tell you, you got trusted people around you. If this is not a trusted resource, then I have to render their words in my life null and void. Well, you don't deal with politics. You got a stage. You don't talk about politics. Politics is not my thing. My civic duty, I vote. I do my civic duty. I make sure that I do what I'm supposed to do as my civic duty. But at the end of the day, I got to break bread. I'm in this world, but I'm not of this world. I'm a part of the kingdom. God's way of doing things and being right. And I don't care who's in the White House. I don't care who's in what house. I'm telling you, I cannot be stopped because I am responsible for my own outcomes. Well, this is not going to be a good year. We got a Republican in. Well, this year is going to be a bad year. We got a Democrat in. Well, my boss don't like me. No. Let's strip them of all authority over your life and say today, I am in control of my own. I own my outcomes. Boy, I just broke bread. I own my outcomes. I am responsible for my own life. And tonight I'm going to get right into it. That's my intro. I'm responsible for my own life. When I was, ladies and gentlemen, when my wife and I were so broke that we couldn't pay attention, that we had to figure out. She was getting paid once a month. I was getting paid once a month. Even the two once a month together wasn't enough to make the bills meet. We had to sit down and figure out how we were going to make the money reach. I had no business being in that situation other than the fact that it was a learning tool for me to learn how to manage and budget my money, that as we began to grow and we were the great I am strengthened our I am, and we found how to create different sources of income, that now we know how to manage it, and we can get our family from point A to point B. And for a lot of us, when we die, we leave debt. It was never intended. You're supposed to leave an inheritance for your children's children. But if I don't have responsibility for my life, I can never leave an inheritance because I never found the value in my own life. I just broke bread. It was never meant for you to live paycheck to paycheck for 10, 12 years. It might have been meant for you to do it for a season, but that you determine the length of the season. It was never meant for you for your body to be so ravaged by disease. Maybe it was meant for a season, but it wasn't meant for you to die from that disease. It wasn't meant for you to be lowered into the ground from that disease. It's us not owning our outcomes and taking responsibility for our life that allows us to be in season longer than we have to. You need an example, don't you? My boy Joel say it's the thing that I feared that has come upon me. And as long as he feared that thing was always upon him. The moment you release yourself, and I'm going to talk about that later, I got to get in my 4 points. The moment you release yourself, you give yourself the permission to do more, to think greater, and to believe that I am more. It's the moment where you start exiting that cycle of not enough. Oh my God, I just broke bread for somebody right there. That cycle of not enough is a result of your own outcomes. Oh, you're supposed to be motivating me. That's not very motivating. Stay to the end. Stay to the end. You will see how that's motivated. Because this world, hey, we had an old song. This world didn't give me this joy, so this world can't what? Take it away. If they didn't give it to you, they don't determine how long it stays. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for us to stand completely up. 4 steps. Yeah, come on, Angelique. Holla at your boy. Holler at your boy right there. Amen, Lisa. That's what I'm talking about. 4 steps. I'm about to break bread right now. Let me sit up in my chair. And I ain't have time to put my little shirt on. I had to wear what I wore to the little birthday party. So let me sit up. I'm going to sweat a little bit tonight because I got these sleeves on. Let's just get ready. Let's get ready for the ride. Well, nobody can ever say Anthony showed up here lukewarm. He showed up he wasn't prepared. He didn't have it. No, they going to say, when I sit down with these motivational Mondays, this dude bring that fire. And it's good for life, ladies and gentlemen. 4 steps to owning your outcome. Number 1, take 100% responsibility for your life. Take 100% responsibility. I'm not giving 2%. Yeah, Aunt, your dad was in prison. Your uncles were in and out of prison. Your dad was in and out of prison. You had, you were the first male on your dad's side to get a high school diploma. You were the first male on your mom or dad's side to get a college degree. And your dad never came to any of your basketball games. How did you become Mr. Alabama, the #1 player in the state? And how did you finish Vanderbilt when you went to a school that was on academic probation? I had a lot of built-in excuses as to why I could not be sitting. How do you lead and you make a Fortune 100 company? And I had a lot of excuses that I could have gave the world that would have been generally accepted, because when I was coming up, all I heard was how I was a statistic and how I was not supposed to make it. My mom can back me up on that. That's all we heard growing up. I had 19 people in my graduating class. All I heard was, you're supposed to be a statistic. And I'm telling you that I had to take 100% responsibility for my life. I remember that one night I had packed my car. I was ready to come home. I was going to quit college. I was going to quit college. I was going to quit playing ball. I was doing horribly. I went doing horribly in school. I wasn't playing a lot of basketball. I was ready to quit. I looked in that rearview mirror with tears rolling down my face. And I said, Aunt, what do you have to go back to? You got to stay here and you got to fight. It's the moment where I took responsibility for my life. And it's the moment where you unarm every principality and power and wickedness in high places. That's when you disarm them, when you say, I am responsible for my outcomes. I own my outcomes. OYO, own your, what's up, Q? Own your outcomes. Take 100%, not 98%, not 50%, not 75% for your responsibility for your life. Take 100%. And I'm not going to blame God. It wasn't meant for me. God didn't mean for it. No. Come on, man. Let's stop making excuses. I told you, I'm dealing with your humanity now. This is the part of you that's going to cry, that's going to kick back and want to tell you every reason in the world why you can't be successful. See, as long as I'm dealing with your deity, the deity is all good, because that requires no work on your end other than the fact that I have to say I believe. And for most of us, we can make this tongue in our mouth say anything, but the challenge is making this tongue in our mouth line up with the tongue in our shoes, and that I'm working on what I am saying. And the challenge for us is I have to sit there and look in the mirror and say, man, I'm my own problem, but I am my own solution. Also, the moment I take 100% responsibility for my actions is the moment when I become free indeed. Well, God is going to do this. It's according to the power that works in you. I just broke bread. It's according to the power that works in you. The more ability that's working in you outwardly, the more that, man, I'm breaking bread right now. The more that you can do. I'm breaking bread right now. Take 100. Motivational teacher to the masses. How do I take 100% responsibility for my life? Number 1, I got to stop blaming others. I got to give up my card of where everybody else around me is the problem and I am not the problem. I'm working on what I'm saying by taking action. And Lord, at some point we have to take action. Words without actions are dead being alone. We have to stop blaming others. When we're busy pointing the fingers, it becomes difficult to see your own. Why are you talking about the speck in your brother's eye, and you got a whole forest laying right there at your feet? Every time you point at one person, you got three more fingers pointing back at you. We gotta drop the idea or the notion that everybody around us is the problem. Everybody around us cannot be the problem. There's no way that I can take responsibility for my life if somebody else around me controls my manifestation. Well, my boss don't want to promote me. Your boss does not control your manifestation. God holds the king's heart in his hand like putty. Your boss ain't the problem. It's you owning your results. I got somebody chiming into this conversation. Laura said, own up to it. No doubt. Q said, talkers don't act. Those who act don't talk. We got to get it done. That's another level of accountability, be in tune with oneself. And Julian, the hard thing for us to do, it's easy for a lot of us to tell the truth to other people, but it's very difficult for us to tell the truth about us. I mean, it's very difficult for us sometimes because a man doesn't know his own heart. We will make excuses or we will make reasons as to why we are how we are. And we will say it's okay for us to be that way. But for somebody else that has the same issue I have across the street, I can point theirs out every day of the week. See, we're not being honest with ourselves. We're not being honest with ourselves. And the moment until you can be honest with where you are, you can never move forward. And that's my challenge with a lot of faith people. A lot of faith people believe that they're a lot further down the road than what they are because they think it's all faith. But your behaviors locate where your faith truly is. Your behaviors locate where your faith truly is. It's storming. I believe that God said he is, but when the moment it got bad, you so I can't make it. You became tossed to and fro by the storm. Why? Your behaviors locates where your faith really is. We got to stop blaming others. Own up to it all. Stop playing the game. Because if I own up to that it belongs to me, then the solution also belongs to me. The moment the great I am awakens your I am, it's the moment you can stop believing that I have to be perfect. It's the moment where I can say, yeah, man, I blew that. I messed up. That's the moment where I can say, man, you know what? If I had to do that over again, I would go back and do it this way. Like I have to be honest with myself. I coach a basketball team and I coach my son, man. I'm so blessed because as I look back, as I got my second son coming through my basketball program, I look back and I can see all the mistakes I made with my older son. I'm just blessed that he still play ball because I made several mistakes as coaching him. And I look back and I'm like, man, I'm so fortunate that he still loves the game and this is something that he wants. But I had to be honest and say, Aunt, I got a do-over with my second son. How would you do it differently? Because it went all right. And the moment we get to the point where I can say, okay, I can take my people, I can take off my people prison face and I can be honest. I can lie, and a lot of times I can lie prostrate in front of me about where I truly am. It's the moment where I become free indeed. It's the moment when I can say, oh my God, I don't have to be perfect anymore. Oh my God, I don't have to put on this face of perfection. Hey, what's up, Aim God? Thank you for joining us. I got my son friend joining us. Thank you for joining, Aim God. I'll make sure I tell AJ you were on here. Man, we motivate the nations, man, down to 11 and 12. That's what I'm talking about. If you get this stuff when you're 11 and 12, when you get to be my age, boy, you're going to be so strong and powerful that you're attracting everything plus more that God is giving you, bro. I love seeing you on here, Ain't God. Thank you for joining. Ladies and gentlemen, how do I take responsibility? Number one, stop blaming others. Number two, stop complaining. How many times have complaining changed something? How many times have complaining changed something? You whine, you moan, you complain, you find you 3 or 4 people to agree with your complaints. You and that person touch hands and agree, and what's changed? Nothing. I told you I'm dealing with you now. This your humanity part. This your humanity. We did to 2020. 2021, now we got to find behaviors to match what we believe. All right? So these conversations are going to be a little different. And the people that's able to say, okay, I've grabbed the part on the inside. Now I got to make it reflect on the outside so I can attract what I want. These are the people that's going to see maximum manifestation. in your life. Hey, what's up, Juan? Thank you for joining us. Practicing gratitude will change your life. Definitely. Definitely, because we need to have a vision that's much bigger than our own life. Stop complaining. Number 3, how else do I take responsibility? Change your perspective. Change your perspective. I had a conversation this past Sunday on Bridging the Nations. I said, man, like all things work together for my good. So it's not what happens to me. It's what happens for me. Like I don't look every opportunity that when I got COVID, it was an opportunity for me to say, man, God, what do you want to do? I know this is for your glory. How do you want to use it? Because I know it didn't come to take me out. I ain't gonna need no ventilator. Why? Because it didn't happen to me. It happened for me. I just broke bread. I just broke bread. Right there, I broke bread. It's not, change your perspective. The world doesn't want to keep, the world, just change. Man, I have unlimited resources. We need to start prophesying to the world. I have unlimited resources. There's no thing that I lack in my life. You got to prophesy to this world and tell this world, and the great I am is strengthened through your strengthened I am, your awakened I am. You tell the world to present you with all your stuff. We got to change our perspective. There's no lack of resources on this earth for what you want to do. And right now, I call forth from the north, south, east, and west every resource that I need to complete and finish the will of God for my life. We got to start being, man, come on, man. God, dog, come on, boy. I'm about to run out this room. And not because I'm sweating, but because now I'm pumped up. We got to change our relationship. We got to change our perspective of what lens we look. The lens that we look out of our eyes determines the manifestation that we attract. And in order for me to see something different, I got to change this lens right here. Some of us got these 2015s. We got to change them 2015s. I need some 2020s. And in order to do that, I got to change my perspective. If I change my perspective, I can take 100% of responsibility for my life and understand that I was created to be fruitful and multiply, that where I the seat I sit in today, I wasn't created to sit in forever, that if I need something in my life that's not there, that because I'm fruitful and multiply, I can grow it. Hey, Virginia, thank you for joining us. I can grow it. Stop looking like you don't. You are an unlimited, untapped resource. You are, man, your power, man, I ain't gonna get through all this tonight. This is gonna be a part 2. The power that you have on the inside of you and that you have on your tongue is untapped potential, untapped resources, unlimited power. The great I am is strengthening my I am. I'm connected to a source that is unlimited. If my source is unlimited, why is my talk limited? If my source is unlimited, why is the words that come out of my mouth are very limited? We got to change our perspective. Either you believe or you don't. This is not where I plan on going tonight, but since we're here, let's roll with it. Either you believe or you don't. Either you say you're going to do it and you believe it or you don't, or your words just feel just as like symbols. Your words are just noise. You don't, every word, I would not want to be the person that allows the words that I speak to fall to the ground, because I'm not willing to put the action behind in order to see it through. I just broke bread, the first Motivational Monday in 2021. If you don't get anything else out of this Motivational Monday, don't you be the one that speak words and your words fall to the ground. And your words fall to the ground. Be willing to put forth the work behind your words in order to see it through. Yeah, Angelique, my source is unlimited. Then my words should be unlimited. What is a source? Come on, Mike, I'm coming with it. What is a source? A source, a source is a place where I use to tap in to the power. You got to use it to tap into it, ladies and gentlemen. Come on now. We got to take the responsibility for our life. I had 4. I'm only going to get through 2 tonight because right now I'm rolling. Right now I'm rolling. Own your outcomes. Own your outcomes. There's nothing the great I am can do without an awakened I am. If your life's goal is to live from miracle to miracle, you're going to have a very unfulfilled life. Oh, should I say it that way? I'm going to say it that way. If you're living from miracle to miracle, that means you haven't unlocked your gift. Your gift will make room for you. Not all this other stuff. Your gift will make room for you. The moment, and I'm talking about how do we own our outcomes? We got to be willing to live out loud. We got to live out loud, ladies and gentlemen. Like, we got to stop being this old meek, somber. Oh my, I'm just trying to get through the day. Oh man, if I could just only pay my bills at the end of the month. Oh my, I just want my corner and it will be fine with life. Or if I could just have, just the bare minimum of what I need, I will. No, 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 no. Do not just accept a corner. I want the whole doggone pie. I don't want a slice. I want the whole doggone pie. I see you once. It's time to change my perspective. It's only been a short time, but the urges are finally gone. It's a struggle. Y'all pray for me. Homeboy, you possess the power to get through it. And today, I'm going to talk a little bit about how we're supposed to do that. I'm going to talk a little bit about how you're supposed to do that. And I like the example that you use about smoking cigarettes, ladies and gentlemen. This is why we the Camo Nation. And that's why I love having y'all chime in here, because we're going to hit some things today that's going to help you along the way. And I'm not just talking about deity, I'm talking about actionable steps that you can take in order to do those things. And see, it ain't and see, when most people make a goal like, okay, I want to stop smoking. Okay, we got to look at it from the perspective of not something that it takes willpower. I want to find a way that I ain't got to push myself, I ain't got to grind myself, that I got to pull. Like, can you fulfill the total will of God for your life with lung cancer? Or is there any kind of way if I smoke, I don't have the stamina, because that's what cigarettes do. You got to find a connection right there into the overall scheme of what you've been put on earth to do. And you got to find something that pulls you away from that. I want to see my grandkids' kids. And is this helpful to this, or is that hurting that? Is this behavior helpful, or is it hurting? And we got to begin to think in those lines about our everyday life. And I'm going to get more in that stuff in 2021. Like, I haven't done a lot of executables, but they're coming right down the line. All right. Number one, take 100% responsibility for your life. 4 steps to owning your outcomes. Number 2, clearly articulate who you are. I told you, I gave you 5 questions that you needed to answer going into 2021 on my last video. Hey, Joy, thank you for joining us. Hey, Lisa, I gave you 5 questions that you should answer before going into 2021. Part of one of those questions is my point number 2. Clearly articulate who you are. Who is Lisa Bell? Not who the world says Lisa is. Who is Joy Jacobs? Not who the world, who's Virginia, who's Vanika, who's one? Not who the worlds say you are, but who have you been created to be? What's that desire on the inside of you? You got to clearly articulate who you are. The moment you begin to clearly articulate who you are is the moment your mindset shifts to where, okay, I'm not being pulled by life. I'm not being pushed by life, but now I'm being pulled by my purpose. Like, I'm being honest, we haven't started living until we understand why we are. Because I'm created how I am. All of this is how I am for why I am. If I don't understand that why, it's going to only frustrate my how. If I don't understand, thank you, Joy. If I don't understand my why, it only frustrates my how. Most of us are frustrated about how we are and wishing a whole lot was different and wishing I had this, I don't have that, because we don't understand our why. The moment you understand your why, you understand how the how fits on the inside of it. Right now, the moment the struggle you're in is part of building your why. The moment you understand your why is the moment you understand your how. Man, when we were broke, living paycheck to paycheck, we started using the Dave Ramsey system of managing money, the envelope system. Now I understand why we had to do that. Back then it was frustrating, and why can't I just have more? It's the moment where you understand your why is how it all makes sense. And as long as you don't understand why you are, the struggles is always going to be real. Clearly articulate who you are. Some of us on here, I know y'all the Camo Nation. Some of us can clearly articulate who we are. Our problem is, oh boy, I'm going to go here tonight. I'm dealing with your humanity. Yes, sir. You know what, Vaniqua? I'm dealing with your humanity. The problem with some of us is we can clearly articulate who we are. The problem with some of us is we don't give ourselves the freedom to be that person. Oh my God. You just broke bread, motivational teacher to the masses. You just broke bread. You don't give yourself freedom to be who you truly are. Some of us have allowed people to put us in a nice square box. And inside of that square box, my family members called me Tony. When I grew up, I was Lil Tony. Lil Tony, Lil Tony, Lil Tony. And sometimes, this is just an example, your family members can put you in the box of Little Tony. And a lot of times they can't take you out that box of Little Tony. Although I have my Series 7 and I work for Morgan Stanley, and I'm a stockbroker just like anybody else in that office, and I got managing just as much money, Little Tony can't manage my money. Little Tony can't manage my money because Little Tony is the little kid that's in this box that I saw that was barefoot running around bouncing that basketball and dusting every day. Little Tony can't manage my money. Ladies and gentlemen, give yourself the freedom to be who God created you to be truly who you are. Get yourself out of that Little Tony box and say, right now, I'm Big Tony. You better say that. The great I am is strengthening my I am, and ain't nothing little about him anymore. Ain't nothing little about him anymore because God is, man, come on, man. Come on, man. You got to give yourself permission and the freedom to be who you truly are. Right there, somebody need to shout, that's me. I need to be who I am. I can't be held. Once I clearly articulate who I am, I have to give myself the freedom to be that. And if you walk out, it must have been meant you're not needed to get where I'm supposed to be. Just got to get your why from the Lord. Say that, Q. And you got to be okay with what I call it divine reduction. You might lose some friends. You're going to lose some followers. You might lose a couple of relationships. You might even lose your job. But you got to get to the place where I'm saying, man, come on, man. Come hell or high water. I got to be the motivational teacher to the masses. I can't stay in my Little Tony box anymore. Like I was meant to be on the big stage. I can't stay in Waveland anymore because I was meant to be shown to the world. I gotta move from where I am in order to get to where I'm supposed to be. Abraham, you gotta leave Lot behind because Abraham, Lot's gonna keep you in the Abram mindset, and you can never accomplish everything I gave you from that Abram mindset. Today, you need to become Abraham. And the fact that I got to say, yeah, Vaniqua, bye-bye to some things that don't belong in my life. I can't sit here. Yeah, I'm about to come to your house. I told you right now, I'm dealing with your human side. I got to say bye-bye to debt. Yeah, I got to say bye-bye to debt. I got to say bye-bye to debt. I mean, I know debt maybe has been living and lingering around your house for a little. I ain't gonna get through half my notes tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I ain't gonna go through all of it. You're gonna see a part 2 coming soon. I gotta say bye-bye to debt. Debt has been hanging around your house for generations. It hung around your mama house, it hung around your grandmama house, it hung around your great grandma house. And if you don't get rid of debt, it's gonna be lingering and hanging around your children's house. I gotta get rid of it. I gotta talk to debt. Debt, you don't belong here. And see, like, I'm giving you your natural. Come on, Lord, you'll get there before you born. You better say that. But we got to work here on earth in order to get that stuff from the inside to the outside. And it's going to only come through me owning my outcomes. I got to own my outcomes. I got to talk to debt. Debt, you cannot stay in my house another day. I'm telling you, my wife and I, we became so radical about debt. Man, we start paying off. I told y'all the story a while ago. It was this couple that we were going to church. They were going through some tough times. They had 2 car payments before their car was going to be paid off. My wife and I paid that car. Boom. And I haven't had a car payment in 10 years because I eradicated their car debt, that I haven't had car debt. And I'm telling you right now, the moment you start talking to debt and you start talking to unbelief, or you start talking to that thing that's been hanging around your house the longest, The moment you give yourself freedom to be you, it's the moment you said, I deserve to be free. You got to talk. Whatever you don't want in your life, you got to talk it out. You got to talk it out. Well, you in motivational teacher, well, I know it wasn't meant for me. Then if it wasn't meant for you, don't tolerate it. Don't tolerate it. But I don't blame you. I see you, Vaniqua. Bye-bye theories and bad relationships I left in 2020 for good. Good night. Holla at you. See you later. I got greater calling me. I ain't gotta grind it out. Greater is calling me. That's why I'm not a motivational speaker. Motivational speaker, oh, grind 120, grind 140, go blah, 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 blah. I'm telling you, it ain't no grind when I'm being pulled and not pushed. It ain't no grind. I enjoy it. I enjoy the discipline of becoming great. And who God loves, he prunes. I enjoy the pruning process because I know it is not what happens to me. It's working for me. It's what happens for me. I'm not overly concerned about that stuff. Every day I got one responsibility. I gotta chop wood and carry water. Every day I gotta decide that I'm gonna make the right decisions naturally on the outside, physically, that line up with what I said. And the moment you start giving yourself the freedom to do that, and you start making changes in line with where you're going, the moment you start saying, okay, debt, you can no longer stay here, you write out all your bills on one sheet of paper. I told you I'm gonna start dealing with money. You write out all your bills on one sheet of paper, and you look at it. And as you look at your bills, you say, where can I cut 10%? Oh, I can cut 10% on my cable bill. You know what? I sleep with this light on. Maybe I can cut this light off at night because I need to reallocate those funds for my own personal development to go in the area where I'm going to put my life. I got to reallocate those funds. I got to look at my budget and I got to say, man, I eat at Chick-fil-A 4 times a week. I need to knock that back to 2. And I just found another $40 in my account. Oh, I go to Starbucks once a week. I got to go and get some QT coffee for 99 cents and put that $5 coffee back at Starbucks. And I found another $4. How am I going to eradicate debt? Just like that. And then I reallocate those additional funds toward my highest revolving debt, my highest revolving bill. That's how I eradicate debt. Faith without works are dead. Well, I'm going to be debt free, and all you doing is saying it, and there's no acts in your life lining up with it. It's jargon. It's a baby 1 year. Blah, 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 blah. That's what's reached heaven. When you say those things and you have no actions to back it, yeah. Many will come to me and say, Lord, Lord, I said, depart from me. I knew you not. Why? Because your works don't line up with what you said. Your works don't line up with what you said. The moment you start believing and you give yourself the freedom to do it, listen, man, I'm gonna break bread. If you're chasing your dream, you can't be, you're not in competition with the Joneses. You're not in competition with the person across the street. You're not in competition with the person that works next to you in your cubicle. You're not in competition with the person that owns a restaurant down the road from you. It's me versus me. Oh boy, I'm so free. Lord have mercy. Thank you. I am so free. It's me versus me. I'm not concerned about what that person is doing, what that person is doing. It's my journey. I give myself the freedom to be me. I don't covet what you got. I wish you well. If I can help you, let me know. But I'm free to be me. It's me versus me. I own my outcomes, good, bad, and different. I own my outcomes because at the end of the day, it's working for my good. The moment you get to the place where you say, okay, how do I begin to make these steps actionable? And we're going to talk more about it. With what choices or decisions can I commit to in line with what I believe? Boy, I'm breaking bread right now. I am what you call, I saw it earlier up there, Angelique. I am a creative giant. I am a creative giant. I am a creative giant. Then what must I exhibit? What do creative giants, what characteristics are of a creative giant? What do I create and how do hey Simone, how do I create it? Boy, I'm breaking bread right now. Give yourself the freedom to be you. Commit to making changes daily to help you get to where you need to be. Ladies and gentlemen, this life, check this out. I'm gonna start talking about it more. I'm getting ready to get all this thing out. This life is about chopping wood, carrying water. It ain't about who's the most. John Maxwell wrote a book, Talent is Never Enough. Talent is not about who's the most talented. It's not about, honestly, about who's the most gifted. It's not about the person that looked the part. It's about the person that's willing to be disciplined and committed with consistency to see the vision through. It's not that you see, most of y'all think it's all about your talent, and that's why you only performing at 20% because you think because I'm better at it than everybody else, that's all I have to be. Ladies and gentlemen, you got to develop the gift. You got to develop the gift. You got to develop the gift. And the development of the gift requires that you chop wood and carry water every day. It requires every day that I have some personal, intentional behaviors that I'm manifesting every day. This race is not given to the swift nor the strong. It's not given to the person that looks the part. It's given to the person that's willing to chop the wood and carry the water for the longest period of time. The person that's going to wake up and do it day in and day out with the most consistency is the person. It's the tortoise and the hare. It's the person that's going to be the most consistent with the least amount of distractions that's going to see it completely to the end. I just broke bread. Own your outcomes. I am my own problem, but guess what? I smile because I am my own results as well. I think being impatient stops a lot of us from being creative giants. Boy, you just said something strong right there. Joy said, I used to worry about people. Now I worry about me. Joy, I'm telling you, I want to hit that one too, Juan. The place where I say you can be the most selfish is your own personal development and self-care. It's okay to be selfish when it comes to your personal development and self-care, because the moment you take care of you and you are doing your personal development, the better you are for everybody else. I see too many mothers that just give till they have nothing in the tank because they're not pouring back into themselves. And you'll only be a shell of who you are until you give yourself to becoming the better version of yourself. Like we serve and we give from our, I'm so far off what I'm supposed to be doing. We give and we serve from our overflow. Like what you all get tonight is the overflow from our own personal studies. I'm not telling you something that I got from somebody else. You notice my stories are personal, and this information, I got a half a page of notes, and it's just to keep me on task, what I'm doing a terrible job of right now. So if I'm critiquing myself, and you got to be more on task. But you give to people from your overflow. If you're not replenishing what you lost, it's just a matter of time before you go bankrupt. If you're not making deposits as you're withdrawing, you're gonna get insufficient funds. You can get bounce checks in a minute. So always be giving back. Warren said something. I want to hit this for a second. I think being impatient stops a lot of us from being creative giants. Warren, you're correct. We're part of this microwave society where we want it right now. We want it right now. And it doesn't, listen, man, anytime God gives man something, he always develops the man first. Your character has to match, what God has given you. Your character has to match that. Otherwise, I would not walk in and give my just turned 8 today, my 8-year-old a 45 caliber or a 9mm right now, because it's too much power for him to handle, and it's just going to mess up other stuff. So for a lot of us, it's the development. And that's why you got to be able to say it's working for my good, because I'm being developed. Like, I don't have masses' eyes looking at me now. However, part of what I'm doing now is a part of my development. In order for me to get to the masses, I have to be found faithful with the 21 eyes I have right now across all 3 platforms. I have to be faithful. I have to prove myself that I can show prepared in season and out of season, and I'm not going to skimp. I remember when I started doing these, I would come down and my hair, like right now I got a fresh cut. I would come down, I would not have a fresh haircut. I got checked about a year in. Would you go in front in the Georgia Dome in front of 80,000 people? Would you go in the Georgia Dome without your hair being cut every time? Would you go into the Georgia Dome with clothes on that don't represent who you are? Would you go into the Georgia Dome without your watch, your ring, or whatever? And I got checked. And so I had to understand that it's part of the process of building. Build, baby, build. It's part of the process of building. And part of the process of building is you got to show yourself faithful before you have the outcome. Oh, it's easy to do it when you got, when I got the mat, it's easy. Oh, I got to shave. I got 40,000 people coming to hear me talk. Let me go shave. Let me make sure. No, the test is, will you do it when you got 21 eyes showing up? Or even before that, will you do it when I had my mama and my sister and my wife showing up? Or will you be found faithful with what I gave you? And see, that's when you commit. Boy, it's in these moments where you commit to your choices and your decisions. You commit to your choices and your decisions when in the beginning process, where it hurts you to do it. It hurts when it hurts to make the investment. It hurts to do it now because it's costing me where I think I could be giving my time to other places, but I got to make this investment because I'm looking for a return in the future. Ladies and gentlemen, Steve Harvey and Ed McMahon are not coming to your door with a bag full of money. I hope some of y'all win the lottery, but chances are you won't. I'm breaking bread. Chances are you won't. So my challenge to you all, is to be your own superhero. You your Ed McMahon. You are your own Steve Harvey. You your clearinghouse. You your own Powerball. You are your own escape route. You your own fire escape. You are. You plus God is the majority. Stop looking externally for what you already possess internally. You need no other collaboration, cooperation. You, your spouse, and in some cases, your spouse might not be on board. Even then, I got to go at it alone. If my spouse do everything, respect, honor, and then and the right way we're supposed to do it. But even then, I gotta keep moving. I gotta keep moving. See, Vaniqua been eating on this stuff. Understand your mindset to understand your results. That's how you get there. The moment you get to understanding that is the moment you begin to change your lot in life. Man, I'm so excited about this stuff, man, because I remember when I didn't know this and I was struggling and I thought there was no end to my struggling. I literally thought there was no end to my struggle. I'm like, oh, well, this is where I got to be, man. When you come up like, it was 8 of us in a 3-bedroom trailer. When you come up like us, I thought there was no end to my struggling. But it was the moment where when I heard that message on self-preservation and fear, where I understood I am my own worst. It ain't the devil, Satan, Beelzebub. It's me. It's my own mindset. Like, Satan doesn't need to do anything in my life. I've been shaped this way from my environment. And I thought this the way I was, but I got to change my mindset. Like Vaniqua said, if I understand my mindset, I can change my results. You were never meant to be broke. You were never meant to be in a negative relationship. You were never meant to be in that for a long season. It was meant to be there for a season, but for you to learn, move, and grow. Ladies and gentlemen, you are ready to go from Abram to Abraham. This is your season. This is your moment in time. Don't miss your moment. Don't miss your moment. I'm challenging you. Don't miss your moment. You're going to have an opportunity that comes that if you haven't been preparing for it, when that opportunity gets here, you're going to be unprepared and it's going to look like you're unprepared. Prepare in silence. And when you get your opportunity, you're going to be ready to blow it up. Every time I sit down in front of this computer, man, I imagine myself talking in front of thousands and thousands of people. And it's just me looking into a camera, communicating with you all. Honestly, it's me talking to me because I see me and I'm looking right at me. It's me talking, man, I love being in this place in life because my gift is being validated over a camera where it's me versus me. And ladies and gentlemen, I can say that about me because I'm looking at the camera, but your gift is being validated the same way. It's you versus you. It's not about mama. It's not about daddy. It's not about your boss. It's not about your cousin, not about your auntie. You own your own outcome. If I'm my own problem, I can be my own solution. Ladies and gentlemen, you all have been phenomenal tonight. Thank you all for chiming into this conversation. I know I said 4 steps to owning your own outcome. I only got to 2. Number 1, take 100% responsibility for your life. And number 2, clearly articulate who you are. So I'll be popping on at some other point to give 2 more. And I always like to have the bonus one. Thank y'all for chiming into this conversation. Again, if you have not subscribed, my YouTube is on fire tonight. Thank y'all on YouTube. Thank you, Facebook, as well. Thank you, too, on Periscope. If you have not, please go subscribe to my YouTube page, Williams Inspires. My Facebook page is Williams Inspires. My YouTube page is Williams Inspires. If you have not, follow me on all platforms. This year, I'm going to be doing specific things. I'm going to pop on. I do these on all platforms. But coming up in 2021, I'm going to specifically work on different platforms just so I could talk to the people there. So if you have not, please follow me on those 2 places. And if you're looking, Virginia, I saw where you reached out to me. I owe you an email back. So if you're looking to get to the next level of life, man, you need coaches, mentors. You got to invest in you. If you don't invest in you, I can pretty much tell you that nothing else will change, because we're working with limited information. You have to be willing to invest in you, and you got to invest in you with the right people with the right information, right knowledge, that's seen some things in life and have been able to overcome it. I'm a player/coach. I don't have it all figured out, but we can learn and grow together. I am a John Maxwell certified speaker, trainer, coach. You're trying to get to the next level? Holla at your boy. And until next time, I am challenging you to wage war on mediocrity. I'm out.
It ain't no friend to me. Wage a war against mediocrity. It ain't no friend to me.